Hey, good afternoon and blessings out there, everybody. It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, wanted to get on today just for a few minutes in between meetings. And so I just wanted to get on real fast because I just saw something and I did a live earlier this week where I was talking about interest rate. And I was talking about how interest rate can either help you or hurt you, right? And I was talking about how it's funny how when it comes to you growing your money, the interest rate is always low, right? Meaning with your bank account, when they charge you an interest rate, it's a low percent. However, when it comes to debt, they have no problem jacking up the interest rate. Why? They know that as long as you're willing to pay that interest rate, the more money that they can make. And they conditioned us to accept the fact that they're going to make money off of us, off of loaning us money, right? They've conditioned us to accept that fact. And so, what we're going to look at today is how the mortgage rates have gone up to 8%, right? 8%. Now, again, I have realtor friends. Please don't come after me, y'all. Y'all know I love you and things like that. But again, what I like to do is make sure that people are always aware that they're making informed decisions, right? Informed customers are customers that actually make decisions that they fully understand, and then you don't have to worry about somebody talking them out of it, right? So that's how it works. So here's what we're going to do today. Today, I'm going to show you how the mortgage rates as of Friday were over 8%. Like, that's insane, right? The mortgage rates were over 8%. So let's take a look at that. Now, I know a lot of people are like, okay, whatever, 8%, you know what I'm saying? I need a house. You ain't talking about nothing, Hickman. I understand that, but let's take a look at what that looks like. So let's just say, and I'm using calculator.net, so I'm not using nothing real fancy. Again, this is something that you're able to go out there and get on the market for your own self. So let's just say you look at $250,000 house. You want a 30-year note. But watch this. Let's go. Let's see what it is at the 8.05%, right? So what they're saying is for a $250,000 house, you're going to have a mortgage of about $1,474, right? That's pretty steep, right, for a $250,000 house. But then what it looks at is it comes down here and say out of all those payments, you're paying $330,000 just in interest alone. So literally, you have bought this house and you're working on another one. Does that make sense? See, this is why we educate our clients, right? We love to educate our clients because a lot of times we just hear numbers. We hear like, oh man, it's this, just do this, just do that. Everybody needs a house. Of course you do, but you always want to get the best interest rate. Now, let's take a look and go back in time, what seemed like a long time ago when interest rates were 3%, right? So now let's look at it. So now what we're seeing is the house is $250,000, right? You put down 50, you're financing 200,000. The total payment at 3% is only $300,000. So you only paid in $100,000 in interest. And of course, this is if you didn't do any of the accelerated payments or anything like that, right? But can you see the difference? The same house, but one scenario, you're going to pay more than 3 times the amount of interest, right? Who does that? And so people are saying, well, yeah, the interest rates are going to drop and stuff like that. Well, yeah, but if they drop, you are now upside down because when you sign the note to that, unless you can get it refinanced, then you're stuck. And who's going to take up the negative equity in that kind of house? See, this is what we have to understand. We have to understand that, at the end of the day, interest can work for you or it can work against you. And again, as I told you beforehand, when it comes to growing our money, keep the interest low. But a lot of people think, oh, I can get an 8% loan, a 7 or 6% loan on my house. You don't realize that the rule of 72 is going to work against you, right? Because again, that debt is going to multiply. That interest is going to multiply and it's going to compound on you. And that's why, again, even looking at this, even looking at a $200,000 house, $100,000 is a lot of money. However, at least that house is more in line, right? You end up paying $303,000. So now you're only $53,000 into that house versus paying $303,000 into a house that's only worth $250,000. You end up paying $530,000. That's crazy. That's insane. And so again, what we love to do here at Generational Wealth Builders is make sure that people are aware of what's going on. Because again, a lot of times nobody's going to tell you this. And again, no hate to my realtor friend, no hate to my mortgage people. But again, we've got to make sure that people understand what they're getting into, because it makes no sense for you to get into this and then next thing you know, your house is getting repossessed because you can't afford that. Again, you're paying $500,000 for a $250,000 house. Think about that. You're paying $500,000 for $250,000. Let me show you just one more time. I promise that I'm gonna leave y'all alone because I gotta get going. Now, here we go. We got a $250,000 house. You're putting down about 20% for a 30-year term. That's at 3%. You would have paid, again, with your interest and everything, you would have paid $300,000. So the total interest that you would have paid is $100,000. But watch this. It is at 8% now. And because it's at 8%, God Almighty, look at here. Jesus Christ. You're now paying $530,000 with a total interest rate. Total interest that you're paying is $330,000. So you literally just bought another house that you'll never get. This is how interest can work against you, folks. So again, our goal here is to make sure poverty ends with us. And poverty ends when we educate people on how to eradicate the things that would create poverty in our life, right? We've got to eliminate that. And that is insane. I don't know anybody that's willing to sign a mortgage for 8%. And again, if you are getting ready to do it, baby, please look at the numbers. Make sure you look at it. Don't fall so in love with the house that you just like, man, it's worth it. Because I guarantee you, 5 years down the road, it ain't going to be worth it. The difference in the price, and again, that's where they get us a lot of the time. The difference in price is that this one is $1,474. At 3%, it was only $863 a month. You see that? So you're literally paying an additional $600 a month for 30 years. That's crazy. That's a nice little expedition or something like that, right? That's a nice, what else could you do with that $303,000? Huh? Real talk. What could you do with that? What could you do with that extra $230,000? Right? So this is what I wanted to get on today. Please, 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 folks, look at the interest rate. And again, especially for those that have credit cards, those of you that are going to these places like getting these little payday loans and stuff like that, they taking you to the cleaners, fam. I'm just going to tell and keep it 100 with you. They're taking you to the cleaners. Bad. Because what happens is they say, hey, you can come get this little $500 and $600, but you're paying $2,000-$3,000 for that $600. Because what do? After you pay on about 5 or 6 months, they say, hey, come on here. You got an additional $500. Come get it. And you go get it. And now you're locked in. And before you know it, you owe these folks $10,000, $15,000. Because the compound interest is working against you. And they just keep extending the loan as far as they can. And you're not getting out of debt because you spend that $500 just like that. And so that's why one of the services that Generational Wealth Builders offer is budgeting. We give you a free budget. We sit down with you with our financial lifestyle strategy, and we help make sure that you know where you and your family need to be. And then we show you how you're able to actually put money to the side and get where you need to go. We show you how you can get out of debt. We show you all the things that you need in order to be on path to build generational wealth. You don't have to be poor. And our motto is poverty ends with us, and poverty ends with accountability. You have to be accountable first and foremost. And that's one of the things that we push very, very hard here when you become a partner with Generational Wealth Builders. Because again, we're here to help make sure that you don't go back to the same old same. We're here to make sure that at the end of the day, you change tax brackets in the right way. That's what we're here for. We're here to make sure that you save, that you grow, and that you make money. That's what we want to do to help our clients out. And that's why we're growing. That's why we are growing. That's why we have more agents that are popping out. I'm super excited about some new agents that we have on board here locally as well as across this nation. I am super excited about what they're about to do to help families on the Generational Wealth Builders platform. So with that being said, I'll end with this. If you're in the South Carolina and Georgia area, next week I'm coming your way, baby. Next week I'll be in the Hinesville area. I'll be there Thursday morning. And I have a meeting at Jessup. So we're there with Lady Frida, Letta Justine. We're there to help them grow that area. Devin and Shanithia Powell, we're coming there to help them get established there, even the more what they're already doing. We are on our way there. So I'll be in the Hinesville area late Wednesday night. But Thursday, we're going to be out there in the mean streets. And then Friday, I'll be heading back through South Carolina on my way back to Charlotte, because that's where I'm flying into and out of. So super excited about being there, super excited about being on the road again. But we want to help you. So if you're in that area and you say, hey, Rod, man, look here, I've been seeing what you're talking about, bro. Listen, man, holla at me. Listen, I want to spend some time with you. I want to make sure that I carve out some time with you. So again, hit me up in the chat, or if you have my number, hit me up. Let's sit down. Let's talk a little bit so you can see about what it is that we do to help families save, grow, and make money. All right. Well, listen, I'm your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, I'm going to end with this. Knowledge is power, but it's not power until it's actually applied. Remember this always. You can have an 18-wheeler that's full of gas and ready to go. But guess what? If you don't ever put that clutch, if you never apply the clutch and get it in gear, it'll never go anywhere. And that's the same thing that's going to happen in you. If you don't take these tips and these tactics that we share with you and put them into action for your own self, you're never going to go anywhere. But either way, if you want to reach out to us, you can drop us a line there at our website, Generational Wealth Building with rodhickman.com. Either way you want to go, you can get in touch with us. Love y'all so much. Y'all take care. God bless.